Today was a tough run. Man versus heat. Heat wins. 16 miles I did not finish. He just got the best of me. I need to work on my long run triple digit plan. 55 hours. As you know, last time I think it was what, 32 or 36. So that's definitely bad. I dropped one in VO2. Look, average pace 9:17. I told you it was a bad run. I dropped VO2 max yesterday because, as we know, Thursdays usually kick butt. Let's see if I dropped some more. No, I'm still at 52. That's fine. All right. Wait, what was our distance again? Yeah, see, 14 and a half. So cut it short. I got a huge story to tell you guys after our weigh-in, our shower, or my shower. And see, total steps 139. Well, yeah, let's see out of curiosity what does the watch say? Okay, 99. It was 99 this morning. So let's go upstairs and get our weigh in. Alright, let's weigh in after our dehydrating run this morning. You see I lost some weight. .6% BMI, or 27.9% body fat, 67.3% water, 64.8 pounds muscle, 10.5 pounds bone. Well, at least the bones don't change. That's good. Alright, time for my shower and we'll meet you downstairs. Hey, good morning guys, and welcome back. Today was definitely a hard run. As I shared with you when I first checked back in, I had my ass handed to me today. The weather just kicked my butt, but I did my best to soldier on, and so I cannot complain. Google said it was 99 degrees this morning. We had some cloud cover. We had a little spot shower last night, so basically the night really never cooled off. And so I ran in 99 degrees, and 99 degrees once the sun came up. So yeah, what a fun day that was. I'm doing recast later on today. Obviously, I'm very dehydrated. So today is double protein chocolate milkshake day. I've definitely earned it. And so, like I said, I'll do my wheatgrass later on, like probably for lunch. But right now, my focus is just getting my body rehydrated. It definitely needs that. You saw on the scale today, back down to 155. I think, I didn't memorize this. I think I was up to what, 157, 158 last week. And so, wow, and this huge fluctuation. Clearly, you know, probably dehydration had a huge part in that. But anyhow, we're going to keep this short today. I'm not going to compare runs from last week to this week because there's really no apples in them per se. So with that, let's begin. My run this morning was supposed to be 16 miles. I cut it short for my own personal benefit. So brought it down to 14 and a half. You can kind of see just quickly how I basically didn't follow the same route home. I kind of, you know, did a little shortcut per se, so shaved about 1.5 miles there. I spent 2 hours and 15 minutes out in 99 plus, probably 99 degrees a day. My average pace was 9:17, thanks to those earlier miles, because the later miles weren't my friend. And I spent 1,726 calories. This, you can see, this was just a hard day. And in short, towards the end, yes, I did stop at, because I went through, I had 32 ounces of water in my Camelback, all gone. I stopped at a park, just about a half mile or so from my house, because I was looking for water. I was looking for water, ran by an elementary school, which, of course, the gates were locked. There's no way of getting on the property. So I don't even know if the water fountain would have been on anyways. So I found this public park near me, and thankfully they had water, and I let it run. It never got cold. I was like, oh, can't I just get some cold water or cool water? But it was wet, so I just dealt with it. And the irony is, and I'm open about sharing this with you, the irony is that, you know how sometimes like when you have trouble going pee, you hear, oh, just turn on the faucet, let the running water sound make you go pee. Even with my earbuds on and I was listening to my music and I had the water fountain on, just hoping it would get cold, hearing that noise made me want to tinkle. Like, no, I'm a raisin, I'm dehydrated. Why should I want to go pee when I need the water? I don't need to get rid of it. So that was kind of a weird experience for me. Not sure if anybody's ever had something like that where you were dying from thirst and you heard running water so your bowels wanted to pee. Don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but it happened to me today, so that was kind of weird. So I did spend a little time. I spent about 3 minutes at the park getting some water, which is fine, which is the White Gap. And then I made it home. And you can see just briefly chugging along here, slugging along at snail's pace. I tried to do the heart rate thing, which was fine, but towards the end, with the sun coming out and the heat, heart rate was creeping up. And when we look at right here, 168, and look at the blue, I was at a 9-minute pace at 168 beats a minute. Definitely not my friend today. Definitely not my friend today. Clearly the heart rate got a chance to recover during my water fountain break, and then I made it home. And real quick, my cadence was kind of all right. And even though I'd slowed down, my cadence still got a little long, which is all right. My training effect today was 4.5. Personally, I was really impressed with that, only because there was one point in my run where I saw the opportunity where I could take in the shortcut, which I did. And I wanted to see, can I soldier on through this and make it back the regular way? Or should I, for my own benefit, take the shortcut? And so I'm flipping through the screens on my watch, and there's a screen that happens to be a split screen. On the top it shows the heart rate, and on the bottom it shows your training effect. And at the moment that I looked at that, it had my training effect at like 5.1, and so I'm thinking, all right, you know what? I don't need to complete 16 miles a day because the heat alone is a training effect. So I don't need the distance to create that kind of training effect on my body. So yeah, all together, including probably on average, 4.5. I spent 2 hours and 15 minutes out in 99 degrees, and my average moving pace was 9:11. My average pace was 9:17, and I really attribute that speed to the beginning because the later miles were not showing me that. So let's go ahead and show you that real quick. All of these again, average mile, other than when I stopped here for the water. Fine, first mile 9. I thought I was going to be maybe in the high 8:30s. No, that wasn't happening. And you could see every single mile, little by little, got slower and slower and slower. I don't know where mile 11 came in at, why I managed to pull that off. But then we went back to the slow, and then we had the water fountain break. And there's was about 2.5 minutes or so difference between the two, or about 1 minute and 40 seconds, sorry. And that's because I just let my watch keep going. I didn't trip it or anything like that. I did restart it for my final 0.6 of a mile. So I restarted there, and I basically was holding that 9:18 pace I had up here at mile 12. Heart rate, tried to start out that whole 150 heart rate run thing. The heat wasn't going to allow me to do that because my body said, if you want to keep going 150, this is going to get really, really bad. So apparently my body was okay with settling about the 9-minute pace, but it was going to cost me heart rate. So over the miles, my heart rate slowly crept up. Still try to keep it in check. Every now and then it would spike for running up and down a hill or something crazy like that. But for the most part, kept it in check until mile 12, where it just decided to creep up even further. And as you might agree, 160 beats a minute on a 9.5-minute pace, that's just like hell. That's terrible. And if by chance, if you're a runner and a 9-minute pace happens to be your marathon pace, I apologize. Don't mean to discredit your 9-minute speed, But if you've been following my training program, or my 16-week training program, I don't run nines. I don't run nines, and so for me, by comparison, this is just a snail's pace, and at that heart rate, just awful. So I got my water, and then my heart rate, managed to come down a little bit towards the end. My cadence was a little long for that pace, which is fine. You can see, I was just cruising along here at the 1 meter mark. I was just extending those legs. Just kidding. But with the heat and the extra time per mile, yeah, my calories were up there. My calories were up there as even this, 134. Well, of course that includes my break, but 126 as moving. That's, yeah. The heat was just eating me up. So yeah, this morning I spent 1,726 calories all together. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you, and this kind of goes into heat, because you've been following along, you're thinking, wow, Mark, this is definitely not the long run you had anticipated, and you're absolutely right. I definitely hope for, had higher hopes for a better run. But be it the heat's the heat. What can you do? Although I went through all 32 ounces in my Camel Bath, next week, I'll start the goo gels. I'll definitely bring more water, maybe even make it ice water for as long as it stays ice water, and go from there. Now, before I let you guys go, I want to share with you an article I pulled up from Runner's World magazine, and the link for this article will be in the description box of today's video. And it talks about your body's physiology and how the heat affects your running ability in basically 10-degree increments. And we scroll down here. This is a great read. Take some time to read it. It starts out in the 50 to 59 degree temperature range. Personally, I like running at that temperature in the morning. I definitely enjoy it. I can't complain. Although the cooler it gets, the only reason I don't necessarily like about the cooler temperatures is you have to dress warmer for it. And then there's that, well, how warm do you really dress? Because once you get cruising, how warm do you really want to get? So there's a fine line with that. But something I did thought was pretty important was mentioned here in the 50 to 59 degree area. It even comments how the optimal temperature for male pros was below 40 degrees. Pretty interesting. So even for male professional athletes, the best temperature for those guys is clearly 40 degrees or slightly below. The article doesn't talk about running in temperatures below 50 degrees, so I don't have anything more for you on that. But I know even in the mild winters we do get, once you get warmed up, oh yeah, you get cruising along and you don't even notice the cold temperature because your body is just exhuming all this heat. So it talks about the 50 to 59, talks about 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and each of these are, again, worth reading through because everything tells you a little something different about the temperature range. The 90 plus, yeah, this is where I was at, fantastic. And in short, it even mentions how when you start running in hotter temperatures, your body is trying to adapt. And so it tells you, expect to put on 1 to 2 extra pounds because your body produces more plasma. I did not know this. Kind of fascinating. And it says your body produces more plasma as a byproduct or a defense mechanism for running in the heat, but it also allows your body to have more water to sweat out. So kind of interesting there too. Now also it mentions that especially when you start running in hotter temperatures like 90 degrees plus, that in general our muscles are pretty much inefficient. They're not exactly the most efficient mechanism we've got going on, And so running in hotter temperatures makes them even less efficient, which of course is why, as you saw, I find myself slowing down just to keep the heart rate reasonable, because as the temperatures got hotter, my body, my muscles had trouble functioning. So, it's a training effect. It's just a good old-fashioned training effect. I'm not going to complain too much about it, though I do admit it was hard. I got my ass handed to me. The water fountain thing I thought was kind of funny. And then, of course, running down the street, and I see a local police officer, and I always acknowledge the cops when they're patrolling, and I was hoping the officer would have swapped around and said, "Hey, you know what? Would you like a bottle of water? We keep them in our car in case we see like homeless people or whatever." I was hoping that kind of thing would have happened, but I guess wearing a Camelback just disqualifies you from hypothetically needing more water. So yeah, that was kind of interesting there. But the article is going to be posted in the description section of today's video. Feel free to read through it, especially if you live somewhere where it's the summers are definitely a little warm. Take a read through and get yourself better prepared for it. And here, even at the bottom, it talks about Heat Prep 101. It talks about, as temperature rises, things to consider when taking into effect. It mentions heat humidity. I don't have the exact humidity numbers for this morning, but I know as of right now it's 22% humidity, which even for Arizona at 100 degrees, that's still kind of getting uncomfortable. But so yeah, take a quick read through this, get yourself acquainted with it, especially if you find yourself having trouble running in the heat. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you liked today's video, please be certain to hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll be happy to address those. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the completion of week 7 of my 16-week marathon training program in preparation to run my first sub 3-hour marathon. I do post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So be certain to subscribe, and you could follow along with my journey as well. But that takes care of my video for today. That takes care of my video. Takes care of everything I have for you guys today on this nice, wonderful Saturday. That's kind of sarcastic. But you know what? You guys have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you on Tuesday. Take care.